यमुनातीला वनचारी
कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिधारधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा
गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिधारधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना
यशोदानन्दन
यशोदनन्दना व्रज जनरञ्जना
यशोदानन्दन परिजनरञ्जन
यमुनतीरावनचारी
यमुनातीला वनचारी
यमुनतीरावनचारी
यमुनातीला वनचारी
जय राधा कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Shri Govinda Ki Jai, Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Om Gyanti Mirandasya Yamantana Shalakayan Chakshurabhulitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Dhavadanam Shri Gurun Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sajadanam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitam Yadevam Shri Radha Krishna Madan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Khantamastase Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Navrameshwari Vrishabhanu Sudevi Pranamami Hari Priya Ancha Kalpatarupascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So as Lalita Madhava Prabhu has announced that our topic today is how to find a guru, or importance of guru in the life of a devotee. So it's a very important topic, and it's very fundamental understanding for Krishna consciousness of everyone. There are so many tattvas or truths in Krishna consciousness, but this tattva, Guru tattva, is fundamental. When Rupa Goswami speaks about bhakti, devotional service, or devotional service in practice, he speaks about 64 processes of devotional service. And he says first three, it's like a bhakti pravesh, or entrance into bhakti, or a gate. If you follow this tree, then gate for all other processes become open. And these three are Guru Padasha, Krishna Diksha Dishikshanam, and Vishambena Guru Seva. These all three connected to Guru. And this means to take shelter of Guru, receive instructions and initiation from Guru, and serve him with deep love, or offer him confidential service. If we will have time, we will discuss what does it mean, confidential service. But first, I want to start by discussing why is it so important to have Guru. Every day, if you follow standard ISKCON program, every morning we chant these prayers by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And he starts by saying, Sansara Dava Nalavida Loka. That this world is like a forest fire. And everybody is burning in this fire. And nowadays you can see it clearly. Just before coming here, I was in Beirut, Lebanon. It's just between, like, Lebanon is here, on the south Israel, on the north Syria, and on the east Iran. So it's like center of all the conflicts. So there, people every day see rockets flying from one side to another. From time to time, some bombs fall in their town or in their cities. And here you clearly can see that the world is on fire. maybe you saw some in social media, people posted like in the evening, local people in Beirut, they having a party somewhere in some restaurant or somewhere, and they filming rockets flying in the sky. So yeah, people there, they're just very tired of all this going on, so they just don't care anymore. They just live their life as if nothing's going on. But we can clearly see that the world is on fire. And the only way to extinguish forest fire is if we have rain. And rain takes water from the ocean. So ocean represents mercy of Krishna. It's unlimited. And the cloud that gets water from this ocean is Guru. And Guru brings mercy of Krishna towards people who are burning in this material existence. Another example oftentimes given is that material world is like ocean. And yesterday we went to Brighton with Goloparanda, and we did some kirtan in the beach. And there you can see the sea, and it's pretty peaceful. But if you go in Jagannath Puri, for example, or some place where you have ocean beach, waves in the ocean much bigger. And if you travel somewhere in the middle of the ocean and you get into the storm, waves there, they are much, much greater. Big ships, they look like just a straw. They're being thrown from one side to another. And just imagine if a human gets into this wave, it's just like nothing. And we are in this material energy, just like in this ocean, great, great ocean, and the waves come in one after another. And if you are in the ocean, you cannot save yourself. You can try to swim, but you don't know where to swim and how long to swim. There is one story that one person from Soviet Union, he escaped from Soviet Union. He took a cruise ship into Atlantic Ocean, and then he jumped off the ship and he swam to the United States. And he actually reached there. So it's one case in billions. And he just became a taxi driver So to get out of this ocean, we need help. We need some boat or some person who is not under the influence of these waves. And the only person who is not affected by material energy is Krishna. He's aloof. He's not touched by material energy. And he has his mercy or kripa. And he also knows about the sufferings of living entities in material world. But he knows only in theory. He never himself experiences sufferings. And in this sense, he cannot express real compassion, because compassion or mercy means when I feel the pain of other person, I understand his pain, and I'm trying to help him, because it's painful for me. But Krishna cannot understand our pain, our suffering. But devotees that are here in this material world, they have direct experience. They went through the same sufferings, like what Krishna knows, dukkha gyan, but devotees, they have dukkha vibhav, meaning they experienced it. They know how it's painful, so they can express real compassion. So Krishna empowers his devotees to save other living entities. And they take this mission. A person who helps us to get out of material ocean, of this ocean of material existence, is Guru. So I hope this is clear. Why do we need Guru? We cannot save ourselves. We need someone who is out of this ocean, and the only person is Krishna, but also his devotees. And his devotees, they understand our sufferings, so we can take shelter of them. And I will read verses about Guru from Chaitanya Charitamrita, so you can understand a little bit deeper. And also, Srila Prabhupada in his commentary, he gives answer to this question, how to find a real Guru. And this is the very first verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita. How many of you have read Chaitanya Charitamrita? 1, 2 persons. This is a homework for all the rest to start reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, because it's full of nectar and it's full of philosophy, very deep philosophy. If you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can understand the deepest tattvas or deepest and most confidential topics about bhakti. So the very first verse, composed by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says, Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan Isham Ishavatarakan Tat Prakashans Chatat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Samgyakam. So he offers obeisances to Lord Chaitanya, and he says that Lord Chaitanya manifests himself in 6 aspects. Translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual masters, the devotees of the Lord's incarnations, his plenary portions, his energies, and the primeval Lord himself, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So 6 aspects. Guru, Isha Bhakta, meaning devotees of the Lord, Isha Avatara, different avatars. Guru, Isha Bhakta, devotees, Isha, the Lord himself, Isha Avataram, different avatars or incarnations of the Lord, Tat Prakasham, different manifestations of the Lord, and Tat Shakti, his different energies. And we will read first paragraph of the commentary that speaks about Guru. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has composed this Sanskrit verse for the beginning of his book, and now he will explain it in detail. He offers his respectful obeisances to the 6 principles of the Absolute Truth. Gurun is plural in number, because anyone who gives spiritual instructions based on the revealed scriptures is accepted as a spiritual master. So this is one thing or one definition that you can note down for yourself. Who is Guru? I just read the sentence. Who is Guru? Gives instructions, not just instructions, based on revealed scriptures. Not just anyone who gives instructions. You can go in school, you can drive, and the traffic conductor give you instructions. Don't go there, go there. He's not Guru. I mean, he's a kind of Guru, but he's not spiritual master. He's not the manifestation of Lord Chaitanya. Though for some people, maybe for some pure devotees, they see everyone as manifestation of Lord Chaitanya. So Guru is the one who gives the instructions based on the spiritual instructions, based on the revealed scriptures. Although others give help in showing the way to beginners, the Guru who first initiates one with the Maha Mantra is to be known as the initiator, and the saints who give instructions for progressive advancement in Krishna consciousness are called instructing spiritual masters. Now we can see there are two categories. One who gives initiation and one who gives instructions for progressive advancement in Krishna consciousness, meaning Diksha and Shiksha Guru. The initiating and instructing spiritual masters, attention, are equal and identical manifestations of Krishna, although they have different dealings. So there is no difference between Shiksha and Diksha Guru. Equal respect to both. Their function is to guide the conditioned souls back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami accepted Nityananda Prabhu and the 6 Goswamis in the category of Guru. And now I will read explanation of this first word of this verse. It's next verse, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, first chapter, verse 35. Mantra Guru Arayata Shiksha Guru Gana Anhara Charana Agi Kariye Vandana. I first offer my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual master and all my instructing spiritual masters. So, first, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, when he starts Chaitanya Charitamrita, he offers obeisances to Guru, and Guru in plural, meaning initiating Guru and instructing Gurus. Perfect. Srila Jiva Goswami in his thesis Bhakti Sandarbha has stated that uncontaminated devotional service is the objective of pure Vaishnavas, and that one has to execute such service in the association of other devotees. So this is very important statement that we need to remember and we need to understand and take deep into our heart. That pure Vaishnavas, who are pure Vaishnavas? Pure Vaishnavas is those who have the objective, which is uncontaminated devotional service. This is their ultimate goal. At the moment, they may be not completely pure, they may be in the process, but they have this highest goal, uncontaminated devotional service. So these are pure devotees, and we have to execute our devotional service in the association of such devotees. Then it will be smooth. By associating with devotees of Lord Krishna, one develops a sense of Krishna consciousness and thus becomes inclined toward the loving service of the Lord. So, in association of pure devotees who have this high goal of uncontaminated devotional service, we develop some sense or some understanding of Krishna consciousness. And also we develop interest to be engaged in this service. This is the process of approaching the Supreme Lord by gradual appreciation in devotional service. If one desires unalloyed devotional service, one must associate with devotees of Sri Krishna, for by such association only can a conditioned soul achieve a taste for transcendental love and thus revive his eternal relationship with Godhead in a specific manifestation and in terms of the specific transcendental mellow, rasa, that one has eternally inherent in him. This is a mouthful. This is a big statement, and basically the whole process of devotional service from the beginning till the very end is explained in this one sentence. It says that if you want an alloyed devotional service, anyone wants an alloyed devotional service? Very low. Some pure devotees around us. You should know it and see whom you should associate to. And if you desire such an alloyed devotional service, you should associate with devotees of Shri Krishna. Because this association, and only this association, can help conditioned soul to achieve a taste for transcendental love and thus revive his eternal relationship with God. So in this association we develop taste, and our dormant love for Krishna becomes awakened. And not just vague understanding love for Godhead, but Srila Prabhupada says relationship with Godhead in a specific manifestation and in terms of specific transcendental mellow that is dormant or eternally inherent in this living entity. So we all have some inherent relationship with Krishna, and in association with pure devotees, this relationship gradually becomes awakened. If one develops love for Krishna by Krishna conscious activities, one can know the supreme absolute truth. But he who tries to understand God simply by logical arguments will not succeed, nor will he get a taste for unalloyed devotion. The secret, listen attentively. The secret is then one must submissively listen to those who know perfectly the science of God, and one must begin the mode of service regulated by the preceptor. Today when I was getting prepared for the class, I got a call from my spiritual master, and he told me a few things to do. And then I told him, I'm going to give a class today, please give me blessings so everything will be successful. And he said, what is the topic? I said, how to find a real guru. He said, so what you gonna say? And I told my plan for the class. He said, that's good, but remember to tell one important thing, that you should find guru with your ears. So this is what Srila Prabhupada speaks here. The secret that one must submissively listen to those who know perfectly the science of God. So he didn't invent anything. He just repeated what Srila Prabhupada said, and this is, Srila Prabhupada says, this is a secret. And if you read commentaries of Srila Prabhupada, many times he uses this phrase, the art of submissive hearing. And he always speaks that this is the secret of spiritual life. So this is what we should always remember. Submissively listen to those who know the science of God. A devotee already attracted by the name, form, qualities, etc. of the Supreme Lord may be directed to his specific manner of devotional service. He need not waste time in approaching the Lord through logic. The expert spiritual master knows well how to engage his disciples' energy in the transcendental love and service of the Lord. And thus he engages a devotee in a specific devotional service according to his special tendency. So this is when devotee has interest in devotional service, hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, and other activities. He approaches expert spiritual master, and spiritual master sees his propensities, his qualities, and he knows how to engage a disciple according to his propensities. A devotee must have only one initiating spiritual master, because in the scriptures, acceptance of more than one is always forbidden. There is no limit, however, to the number of instructing spiritual masters one may accept. So, initiation, only one person, but instruction, unlimited. You can listen many instructing spiritual masters. But take initiation from only one. And according to, okay, I will read the last sentence of this paragraph and then comment a little. Generally, a spiritual master who constantly instructs a disciple in spiritual science becomes his initiating spiritual master later on. So if you listen to someone most of the time, it's just natural that we take initiation from this same person. And according to Vaishnava etiquette, if we took initiation from one spiritual master and then we take instructions from someone else, we should always make sure that whatever instruction we receive from other people, from other devotees, they should be in line with what initiation spiritual master speaks. And if you want to apply something from these instructions, you always have to confirm with your initiating spiritual master. Or at least, I heard something in this class, they say to do like this, to chant japa like that, or to study books like that. Is it valid instruction? Should I apply that? And initiating spiritual master should confirm, or he may give comments to do something else. And also, it's always nice to ask from initiating spiritual master if I can listen to such and such instruction spiritual master. Okay, now to the question about the real guru. Who is real guru and how to find one? One should always remember that a person who is reluctant to accept spiritual master and be initiated is sure to be baffled in his endeavor to go back to Godhead. One who is not properly initiated may present himself as a great devotee, but in fact, he is sure to encounter many stumbling blocks on his path of progress towards spiritual realization, with the result that he must continue his term of material existence without relief. So we can see this statement in two ways. First of all, that we need to get initiated to avoid all the stumbling blocks. But also, we should take instructions and initiation from a person who is also initiated. Otherwise, he won't be able to bring us to liberated position. And this is the answer to the question of how to find the real guru. The real guru is a disciple himself. Such a helpless person is compared to a ship without a rudder. Rudder. For such a ship can never reach its destination. It is imperative, therefore, that one accept a spiritual master if he at all desires to gain the favor of the Lord. The service of the spiritual master is essential. If there is no chance to serve the spiritual master directly, a devotee should serve him by remembering his instructions. There is no difference between the spiritual master's instructions and the spiritual master himself. In his absence, therefore, his words of direction should be the pride of the disciple. If one thinks that he is above consulting anyone else, including a spiritual master, he is at once an offender at the lotus feet of the Lord. Such an offender can never go back to Godhead. It is imperative that a serious person accept a bona fide spiritual master in terms of the Shastric injunctions. Sri Jiva Goswami advises that one not accept a spiritual master in terms of hereditary or customary social and ecclesiastical conventions. One should simply try to find a genuinely qualified spiritual master for actual advancement in spiritual understanding. End of commentary. So in the end, also important statements. First of all, about the instructions of spiritual master, that this is the most important. Not the direct service to spiritual master, but service to his instructions, because there is actually no difference between Guru and his instructions. And if someone thinks that he doesn't need to consult anyone else, he is an offender. And such offender cannot attain, can never go back to Godhead, and logically he cannot bring anyone back to Godhead. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, we should not accept spiritual master in terms of hereditary or customary social and ecclesiastical conventions. So this is something that maybe members of Indian community can understand. For me, it's just words of theory. But as far as I know, some families, they have guru who gives initiations to generations and generations and generations. And Srila Jiva Goswami says it's not necessary. And some becomes a part of some religious society or spiritual society, and then to get some position in this society, he needs to accept also some guidance. And Srila Jiva Goswami says that this is also not real guru-disciple relationship. Srila Prabhupada says one should simply try to find a genuinely qualified spiritual master for actual advancement in spiritual understanding. So, from what we read, we can see that, first of all, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami tells us that Lord Chaitanya, he manifests himself in 6 aspects. And Lord Chaitanya, he came down to this earth, and one of his missions is to deliver all the conditioned souls, to give them process of liberation for this age, and also to give them something that nobody else ever gave. It's a very, very confidential relationship of Krishna and his devotees in Vrindavan. Never before anyone gave this. Krishna came himself, he showed these pastimes, but he never told anyone, you should come and become a part of it. But Lord Chaitanya, he came and he said, I want everyone to come to Vrindavan. So to achieve this goal, he manifested himself in these 6 aspects. And through these 6 aspects, he can help us to get to this goal. So Guru, Vaishnavas, and Lord Chaitanya himself is here with us, with his brother, his Prakash, Nityananda, his different avatars, including holy name, and his different energies, like devotional service. It's all given to us to achieve this unique confidential service in Vrindavan. So if we look from this perspective at what we have here right now, we can really value these gifts. And if we express these feelings of gratitude to Lord Chaitanya, he will reciprocate more and more, and he will give us more and more mercy through the same 6 aspects. This is one thing that we read, and from whatever we spoke before, we spoke before is that disciples should understand, or like practicing devotees should understand that he cannot save himself. And confirmation to that is in Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, Anadya vidya yuktasya purushasya tman vedanam svato na sambhavatanyas tattva yo jnanado bhavet. 11th Canto, 22nd chapter, 10th verse. Because a person who has been covered by ignorance since time immemorial is not capable of affecting his own self-realization, there must be some other personality who is in factual knowledge of the absolute truth and can impart this knowledge to him. So Krishna says that because we are here and we are in ignorance, and this ignorance has no beginning, anadi. So we cannot pull ourselves out from this ignorance. Just like we cannot save ourselves from an ocean. We need someone who is out of water, and someone who knows absolute truth and who is able to impart this knowledge, share this knowledge with others. And to share this knowledge, he has to have compassion. So our qualification is to take this humble position that I'm unable to save myself and I don't have any knowledge. Like Arjuna did in the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, he said, I don't know what is my dharma anymore. I'm feeling weakness, so please Krishna instruct me. I'm your disciple and follower. And immediately after that, Krishna tells him, you just fight, and all this weakness, all this confusion will go away because you are a warrior. It's natural for you. But what Arjuna did, he said, I will not fight. And this is something really interesting. He says, I surrender to you, you are my guru, tell me what to do. Guru tells, fight. He says, no, I will not. But he's not just saying that, I don't want to do what you say. He says, I want to do, but I cannot, because I have this confusion. I have two minds. I'm not sure how to act. And if I'm in this condition, I cannot fight. Because if I don't know if I should shoot the arrows or I should not, then I cannot be determined in the fight. And one moment of undecisiveness in the battle can cost you life. Like you prepared arrow to shoot, and for a moment you think, should I do this or not? And in this very moment, another arrow comes to you. So Arjuna opened his heart to his guru, Krishna. He said, I want to follow what you say, but I have this problem that stops me from this following. And this is an example for ourselves, that Guru tells us you should do this and that, you should follow 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds, do service, study books, be engaged in preaching mission. And many devotees, they just say, yes, Guru Maharaj, and don't do anything but that. and never speak about it. They just think, oh, I'm so fallen. When I become purified, I will be able to follow. But Arjuna sets an example that don't hide this weakness. Open up. Then Guru knows what is your position, and Guru can give you proper instructions according to this position. This is a submissive hearing. That I'm in a lower position, because if I think, well, I'm so fallen, when I become purified and I will follow, it means that I know better than Guru. That I don't need Guru. I know myself. I will just do something, I get purified, some time will pass, and then I will be able to follow. This is for qualification of disciple. And for qualification of Guru, we mentioned that Guru should be disciple himself. He should be initiated, and he should follow instructions of his Guru. And he should speak same thing what his Guru says. So this is for us, how can we decide who is real. But if we don't know instructions of his Guru, how can we understand if he's following or not? This is why Arjuna, in the same second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says, Krishna tells him that a person with steady intelligence becomes liberated. And immediately Arjuna is asking, how can I recognize such person? How he walks, how he talks, how he sits. Because if we don't know symptoms of proper disciple, of proper devotee, how can we discriminate? How can we understand whom to follow or whom not to follow? So for that we need to study. We need to study Shastra, we need to study books of Srila Prabhupada, and to understand what he wants from his followers. And discuss among each other what Srila Prabhupada says, what he wants from us. And then, through this understanding, we can test other devotees and see, okay, he's following. He's coming to the temple, he's doing seva, he's attending programs, he's chanting his rounds, following principles. He's qualified to take instructions or to take initiation. This is, I think it's, well, Srila Prabhupada speaks about it in many places, that Guru should test his disciple, but disciple should test his Guru as well. So we need, but how can we test if we don't know? So we need to study, we need to learn. This is why we have so many books written by Srila Prabhupada. So we will never be baffled by pseudo-gurus. And there are so many such people nowadays. They speak very beautifully, they have thousands and thousands of followers, but there is no substance behind that. The only substance behind that is to have followers and to have money to maintain themselves, because on their own they don't put any effort to go back to Godhead. So we need to learn, we need to study to understand who is the real Guru, and then by hearing and by observing we can understand who we can accept and who we should not accept. Yeah, it is always mentioned by Srila Prabhupada, and it was a statement by Lord Chaitanya when he was talking to Haridas Thakur. He said that there are so many people who preach Krishna consciousness but don't follow. And there are so many devotees who follow but they don't preach. But you following and you are preaching. This is why you are perfect Acharya. So we should find such person, Acharya, who walks his talk. And also we should develop our proper qualification when we become sincere in our following, in our inquisitiveness. Then Krishna will arrange this meeting, because he says this in many ways. In Bhagavad Gita he says, as you surrender to me, yadhamam prapadyate tam statha bhajamyaham. Tam statha bhajamyaham. This doesn't sound right. Anyways, he says, as you surrender to me, I reciprocate accordingly. So if you prepare to accept instructions of Krishna in the form of Guru, in the form of devotee, he will reciprocate and send such devotee. Or he says, to those who constantly engage in devotional service, I give intelligence how to come to me. So he reveals from the heart the process or the knowledge about the process, and also he reveals in your heart whom to follow if you're constantly engaged. Tesham sadata yuktanam bhajatam itipurakam dadami buddhi yomutam yenamam prayati. So we discussed today about why we need spiritual master, because we cannot pull ourselves out of ocean. Then by understanding this position that we are dependent, we are not independent at all, we understand that we need a guru, and because of that we feel humble and submissive. And this is our main qualification. And we spoke about qualification of guru. The guru is the one who follows his guru in his words and in his behavior. And to understand who is doing this, we need to study ourselves symptoms of such persons. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there any questions, or maybe someone wants to add something? Yes, please.
Yeah, in this material world, is it possible to find a spiritual, like, who at least knowing how to go, like, out of the ocean in the right direction?
If it's possible to find someone who can help you to get out,
Yeah.
yes, it is possible. Krishna says many times in Bhagavatam, it says many times that these devotees, they are like tirtha. And in one sense, it is an explanation that they carry Krishna in their heart. And because of that, they become places of pilgrimage. But also, tirtha means shallow part of the river where you can cross. So these devotees, they become like this crossing path between material world and spiritual world. And in Srimad Bhagavatam it is said that if we have faith in the words of such devotees, then Krishna will help us to cleanse our heart and to become established in devotional service. As I mentioned in the very beginning, that pure Vaishnavas are the ones who have this highest aspiration. They may not be there yet, but they have this aspiration. And you can, if you understand, if you study about symptoms of such persons, you can see that he really has this aspiration. He may be engaged in different activities in this world, but this all serves one goal: to attain this unalloyed devotional service, uncontaminated devotional service. And when you see such person, you can run and have his association, because he will help you. At least he can help you to get to his level, and then he will show you the path. Someone who can lead you further. Like we get together here, as I ask this question, who wants to have uncontaminated devotional service? And some devotees raise their hand. So you can speak to them. They will tell you, I got this desire from this person. So you go to and listen to this person. And this person will tell you, I got my desire from that person. And you go to listen to that person.
But by your experience, have you seen such persons available, or it is very theoretical and it is very difficult to get?
It depends on your sincerity. Lalita Madhava Prabhu, he mentioned that I was introduced to Bhagavad Gita in 2004. And when I read Bhagavad Gita, I realized I want to live like that. But I didn't associate with devotees. And I was doing all crazy things instead. But once a year, I would go for ISKCON program. Like one time I went for Govardhan Puja, one time I went for class of His Holiness Divamrita Swami, one time I went for Ratha Yatra. And then next year, I finally found the courage to start following. And because there was this appreciation and interest and faith in the process, Krishna arranged that I can meet some devotees. And by meeting with these devotees, this appreciation and faith become more and more strong. And then Krishna arranges meeting with more advanced devotees. And if you appreciate whatever he gives you, he will always introduce to more and more advanced devotees. This was my experience. First I was associating with devotees who were following 3.5 regulative principles. But from them I still was hearing about Krishna, hearing about Bhagavad Gita, and I was reading Gita, and I was coming into association of devotees who follow all regulative principles. And among them there were more exalted devotees, and gradually, because of that, some purification apparently happened, and I was able to meet more and more advanced devotees. And then when you see advanced devotees and you hear, you feel that something in your heart is changing. And this is a symptom that this person is really someone who can be your guru. Because his instructions, it's not just some information that I heard, but it causes some transformation. Not just I heard, I remembered, and after 1 week I forgot. But I heard, and my heart changed, and I decided maybe I should follow what he said. It really makes sense. And I start to follow, and I see that it brings some result. And I hear more from this person, and I feel like I want to follow more and more and more. And then I take shelter from this person. As I said, by your ears you can find. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Shiv Charan, for wonderful
Hare
thoughts.
Krishna.
I had a question actually. So in the past, I've also had people. I mean, you spoke. I would say the theme of there was also the importance of association and hearing and sharing people's experiences and understanding those experiences. I've been challenged in the past where Srila Prabhupada has said that it only takes one mantra. So some people say, well, I'll just continue chanting on my own, in my own secluded place, and hopefully that should take us back.
Mhm.
But from your perspective, what would you counter with in terms of this?
Well, I mentioned about Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. He says, first three steps that are gates to any other step, any other process is take shelter of Guru, take instruction and initiation, and be engaged in service, confidential service. And without that, if you don't accept this, you can chant millions of lives. And it may purify your heart to some extent. It may give you some material benefits, but it will never give you full love of God. And if you listen to Guru, like if you accepted shelter of Guru and you hear his instructions, all of them they say you have to associate with devotees. You have to serve devotees. This is your only salvation. So people may make their own ideas about Krishna consciousness, but we try to understand from the perspective of our predecessors. And they say that only through association, only through following footsteps, only through following instructions of Guru, you can make any progress. It's okay? Yes, Mataji.
How do you know when you're ready for a guru?
How do you know if you're ready for Guru? Ready for initiation or
Yes, okay.
so as I mentioned, that qualification of disciple is that I understand that I have nothing, I have no knowledge, and I am unable to progress on my own. This is one thing. Another thing is that when you practice devotional service, like if you have this mood that I'm useless on my own, you're ready for Guru. And then you start practice under guidance of Guru, and your heart becomes purified. You develop some understanding of the process. And just like in any relationship, there is some step when you want to make it official. Like boy and girl, they may have some relationship, have fun together, dating, this or that, but then at some point they say, okay, I'm ready to dedicate myself. And to confirm that, they do wedding, marriage. They go to priest and they say, I give my vows that I will always take care and this and that until death takes us apart. Same thing that here, when you feel that, okay, I want to dedicate my life to this process, I want to make my relationship with Krishna, with Lord Chaitanya official. You go to your guru and you say, you tell, I want to make it official. And he says, okay, let's do initiation. It's like in layman terms. Yes, Mataji.
Just following from what Lalita Mahaprabhu said. When Prabhupada said that one mantra is needed to cross over to the other side, so does that mean Prabhupada is actually saying that that one mantra is the key first to open a door to go to the other side? So ultimately what Krishna is saying that if you can't serve a normal human being who is in the form of a guru, how are you going to serve me once you get to the spiritual life?
So the question is if this statement means literally one mantra, or if this means that mantra is like the beginning of the process. Well, you need to ask Srila Prabhupada.
Maybe a few more years.
But we can understand it in different ways. First of all, we can see it as a statement of the power of Holy Name. The Holy Name has unlimited power, and Holy Name is actually able to give all benedictions, all blessings, everything in one moment. And like there are so many statements in Srimad Bhagavatam that if dog eater chants Holy Name only once, he is able to perform all the Vedic rituals and this and that. So this is the statement of the power of the Holy Name. But it is always the question if we are able to receive these blessings, if we are in position to receive these blessings. So in this sense, we hear one Holy Name and all the power is there. Nam Namakari Bhutani Sarva Shaktis. But Durdaivam Idrisham Iha Janina Anuraga. But all the power is there, all the blessings is there, all the flavors of relationship with Krishna are there. But my Durdaiva, or my previous offenses, they not allow me to taste it. And this is not a statement of a failure, this is a statement of longing. But I know that it's there and I cannot feel it, but I want to feel it. And in this way, in this mood, Holy Names can give to us more and more blessings. So we can understand from different perspectives that yes, Holy Name is able to give all the blessings, and maybe if you hear Holy Name from some pure Mahabhagavat devotee, you can become liberated in one moment. But your own chanting may not have this power because of Durdaiva. Yes.
Thank you for this really wonderful class on a really important topic. I just wanted to comment on Krishna's question. There's something that Srila Prabhupada writes about in the Nectar of Instruction, where he explains the mentality of a neophyte devotee and how we want to go from the neophyte platform to the Madhya platform. One characteristic is that when the neophyte walks into the temple, they offer all their obeisances to the deities, but they don't know how to properly respect like the devotees. And it's kind of related to Prabhu's question as well, in the sense that how do I know there's someone out there? And a nice analogy to think of is that when you go to the hospital, it's like you're not always with the doctor. Most of the time, the nurses are taking care of you. So, in that sense, it's like the spiritual master is like the doctor or the surgeon. But we need to follow in the mood of das and das and das, that not just up until initiation, but even beyond initiation, that we have this mood that yes, we want to find our spiritual master, our initiating spiritual master, but we also want to have this mentality that I need the help of multiple devotees on a day-to-day basis, and the spiritual master is obviously there to give us guidance. And I think sometimes that's a mistake that a lot of devotees can easily make, that either they have the help before, and then after initiation it's just like this one person, or they don't take the help before, so then they don't find that their spiritual master. And I think having a network of multiple devotees or shiksha gurus is really powerful in order for us to learn the mood, the mentality, the process of finding a spiritual master. And then even beyond initiation, they'll give us that. It's like supplementing what the spiritual master is providing us. So I just wanted to.
Thank you so much. Yeah. This is what Lord Chaitanya also says. He says that association with devotees is the root of bhakti. But even when you attain prema, it still remains the main process of devotional service, mukhya anga. So on all the steps, association of devotees, like we have it now, it's the main process and the main moving strength or moving power that pushes you further. Thank you.
Prakash Prabhu, thank you so much for that really incredible class. Just a question on inquiring submissively and listening submissively. Sometimes, like, I know I've got a tendency of like just thinking that, oh, I know this already, so it's not so submissive. So how can I listen in a more submissive way?
Mm-hmm. It's a good question. How many times word Krishna repeats in one Mahamantra? How many times word Rama repeats in one Mahamantra? How many times word Hare repeats in one Mahamantra? How many Mahamantras we repeat a day? Many, many, many. And it's all the same. But if we do it in a proper mood, it gives us not just every word, every syllable, gives us some connection, feeling of connection. So in the same way, we may hear Srimad Bhagavatam or any talks on, about devotional service, and devotees repeat the same thing because everything is already said, been said in all the scriptures. They won't tell you anything new. They will tell you what they experienced in framework of these statements of Shastra. So this understanding may help to become more submissive that, okay, I've heard that, but do I really understand that? Do I really apply that? And do I really realize that? Do I really live according to that? And yeah, this is one thing that important, that if I come for any kind of class in devotees association, it is always opportunity to become connected to Krishna. It's not just academic lecture. It's an opportunity to be with Krishna. And I tell you one story. I don't know if you heard about Gopi Paramadan Prabhu. He's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and he participated in translation commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam after Srila Prabhupada passed away. He's a great knower of Sanskrit, he translated many scriptures of our acharyas into English and commentaries, and he gave his own commentaries. Wonderful devotee. Unfortunately, he already passed away. So, and he also established a Sanskrit school and Bhagavatam school for devotees. So he knows Srimad Bhagavatam from beginning to end, upside down, right to left, left to right, in any way. And so, but he would come every day for the class in the temple. And oftentimes some young devotee would give class. So one devotee came up to him and he said, Prabhu, you are such knowledgeable devotee, you are such experienced devotee, but you still come here and you listen to this neophyte bhaktas. Why are you doing this? And he said, you won't understand. He said, please tell me, I want to know. He said, I come here to serve Srimad Bhagavatam. So, if we come in this mood, then it doesn't matter if we heard this before or not, because Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna himself. So it's our opportunity to come in contact with Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Just say, in Canto 7, Prahlad Maharaj, when he actually is doing his prayers to Lord Narasimha, Lord Narasimha then says to him that you can have everything you want. But Prahlad Maharaj's answer is that I need to stay here and serve my master first, which is his Guru, Narad Muni. So he said that's the only way I want to actually do my service, is to do my service to my Guru Maharaj first.
Yeah, he says, I'm not a businessman, because what you offer me is just a business deal. Like, I did something for you, and I take something from you. I don't need anything. But, and he asked for some blessings before. He said, liberate my father, this and that. But then he said, okay, my guru, Narada Muni, he saved me, because I was marching with all other people into the blind well of material existence. But Narada Muni pulled me out. So, and only because of him, I can see your face. So I don't want anything, just to serve him. And this is appreciation and gratitude for whatever Guru gives us. This is a good mood of a disciple. Thank you, Mataji, for the question.
Yeah.
So that's all.
I give free love, Hari Bols for His Grace Shiv Charan Prabhu.
Haribo!